government, or national security. Brannon brings the issues of the day into clear focus through the lens of a Judeo-Christian worldview. And now, here is your host, Brannon Howse.
And welcome to the broadcast on this Monday night, April 6, 2026. Hope you had a great Resurrection weekend, and it's good to be back after taking Good Friday off to rest a little bit. And we got a big show tonight. We're going to talk with Patrick Wood. I guess scientists are looking to make human clones to download their brains to. Sounds like a sci-fi movie. We'll get into that, along with a few other very important topics he's covering over at technocracy.news. One of those topics happens to be not only the idea of scientists pitching cloning human bodies to transfer brains into, but the strange case of Trump's peace board. There's some new information coming out tonight that we're going to find out about from Patrick Wood. Annie Cyrus is going to join us to talk about many things. Texas, as we reported tonight on the World Report, they approved, many cities throughout Texas approved Ramadan proclamations. Texas is falling fast, and they're targeting Tennessee and also Arkansas. Apparently, the Islamic, I'll find it here somewhere in my stack of stuff I've got. Somewhere in here I have it, Logan. Here we go. The Islamic Center of Little Rock. They are expanding. They have a big expansion project going on. There's a link at the top. And we'll get into that because Islam is spreading to the Bible Belt. The South is quickly being conquered. We'll talk about that. President Trump is saying that he is likely to target Iran tomorrow, Tuesday. Does Annie think that will really happen? And of course, President Trump put out a very interesting, disturbing tweet on Resurrection Sunday that I want to ask her about. Why would he say Allah be praised at the end of that? Was he mocking the Islamists? Or, I don't know. I have no idea because he also works with a lot of moderate so-called Muslim nations. So what was that all about? We'll get to that. What does she think is going to happen with Iran, in Iran, and when it comes to the oil and the infrastructure and more? And we'll play some clips of some things President Trump said today about it. Okay, so we're going to get to all that tonight. Oh, Jason Lewis. I pre-recorded an interview with former Congressman Jason Lewis the other day. I want to bring that to you tonight. He's working on producing a movie. We're going to talk about AI actors. Where is that going? How fast is that technology developing? Will it level the playing field? So much to talk about with Jason Lewis tonight as well. All right, let's see. Did you catch on? Oh, yeah, ISIS, as we covered in the World Report, I want to ask Annie about it, calls on Muslims to set fire to churches and synagogues across the U.S. and in Europe. Oh, Iran is also, they have some of their foreign ministers, or I guess different experts, I think one of them is the foreign minister, stating that they are not going to back down. They're not going to negotiate with President Trump. And even, I think they're talking about using some of their own citizens as human shields, as President Trump's team taking that into consideration as well. So a lot to get to. Now, did you see any of the Easter egg roll? Oh, by the way, today we had a great hour and a half on the NASA program. One of my friends texted me, and it was, quote, one of the most interesting shows ever with 3 explanation points. Well, it was really interesting. Did you ever wonder how they got that Land Rover, that they drove around on the moon in the early 70s? How they ever got that on the lunar module? Because a lot of people on the internet say that didn't really happen. How would they ever get that buggy on there? Guess what we showed you today? Actual video footage from the moon back then in the 70s, them unpacking the lunar module. We show you how they folded it up and put it into a compartment so they could get it out and it would unfold. I learned something today. We answered a lot of questions about science, physical science, functional science, why we do what we do in space, where we're going, what the goal, what the objective is. We answered a lot of questions, knocked down some conspiracy theories. fascinating today, hour and a half. Is it up at worldviewtube.com yet? Yep, it's already there. Worldviewtube.com with literal rocket scientist Jason Pratt. So that was good today. All right, now, did any of you catch the Easter egg roll today on the White House lawn? Because, there are times when I kind of scratch my head and think, what is President Trump saying? What is he doing? Why is he saying that? Why he's doing that? And then there are other times where I watch him and I say, that's so classic Donald Trump, and why he's fun to watch and he's fun to listen to. In the right settings, he can be just flat out entertaining. One of them was watching him with all the children today. I got a hoot out of pulling up clips today, watching him with the children, talking to these little children like they were little adults. One of them was talking about the architecture and the columns of the White House. Look, he is not treating these kids like children. He's treating them like little miniature adults. It's hilarious. Watch, here we go. Here's one of many clips.
You know what? It's so much fun. You see what we're doing? We're fixing up all the... How about, you see the columns over there? We're fixing up the whole facility. It hasn't been fixed since 1799. And I see spots over there. Look. They got hit by something.
Hasn't been fixed since 1799, did he say? Yeah. Now, I don't know about you guys, but did you catch some of these kids there? All right, I caught a couple kids here. Let me just see if I can go to it, Logan. Unless you have a better picture, Logan. You have a better picture of these kids? It's not as clear as it was when I was watching it this afternoon. What's that? Oh, is it a different clip? Yeah, I had a clip that was just as clear as a bell. Pull that down. Let me see if I can find it. That wasn't it. Because there's one in here. It was just as clear. Here it is. This is it. I think this might be it. No, Logan, let's see.
What's going on with Easter egg?
Donald Trump, you're the best.
Thank you, honey. I agree.
Oh, that's a different clip. Well, I'll keep going. I'll get to that in a minute then. Let me play this one, though. This is good. Listen to this one. Here's another one.
What's going on with Easter egg?
Donald Trump, you're the best.
Thank you, honey. I agree.
Donald Trump, you're the best president ever. He says, thank you, honey. I agree. If you didn't catch it, listen again. Right, Dolly? Listen.
What's going on with Easter egg?
Donald Trump, you're the best.
Thank you, honey. I agree. What's going on with
Thank you, honey. I agree. You are the best president ever. You want to do your commercial right now? We'll probably play some more Trump clips. Don't bite me. You like your happy howl? Are you coming up here to grab your happy howl? Have you not been fed tonight? I don't even know, to be honest with you. You have to ask your mother. But there you go. As you guys can tell, commercial break. Dolly decides when these commercial breaks happen by her just random appearance into the studio. That flag sometimes waves back there without her ever showing up. And I'm sure people wonder, why is his flag moving? Well, if you ever see the flag moving, it's either there's an earthquake in Tennessee, which God forbid we don't have one of those, or it's Dolly. Chances are it's going to be Dolly. Dolly, do you want to come finish? You're doing your happy howl. Now that you've interrupted everything, you want to finish? Come on up. You want to finish your happy howl? Come here. Hey, what do you got now? Come here. Come on. What do you got? Well, let me see it. Where'd you get that? Well, I bought that for you for one of your birthdays, but you chewed all the paws off of it. Everything. It's supposed to be a tennis ball. There you go. You can have it. All right. Well, you came in to do a happy howl commercial like I told you to, but now you left. You're not really participating. But there we go. Dollyfood.shop. She loves it, as you can see. Dollyfood.shop. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. So Donald Trump, I think you're the best president ever. And he says, honey, thank you. I agree. That's pretty classic. All right. Let's see what else we got here. He was talking to the 5-year-olds about the White House architecture. All right, here we go. Here's a good one. Here's where he tells the kids, Joe Biden couldn't do what I'm doing. He would have had to have brought there's that flag moving again. Not an earthquake, Dolly. Here he is telling the kids, Biden couldn't do this. He would have had to have a auto pen. Here we go. Okay, you can hear her mother Twitter offset, do you want to give your grandpa yours to sign? And Trump says, what's her name? Catherine? Caroline? Caroline, his granddaughter, is not interested in my autograph. Well, that's right. She's just grandpa to her.
Caroline is the only one that doesn't want my autograph.
Caroline's the only one that doesn't want my autograph. Not interested.
Zero. I would say Carolina has zero interest in my
Zero interest.
Oh, that's nice. I think I'm going to sign this. That way I'll say, I drew it. Look, I drew it. Look what I did, everybody.
He said I signed it like I drew it. He says, look what I drew, everybody. Now, he sat there a long time today as I was watching it. It was going down live. There you go. Do it there with the auto pen.
Biden would use the auto pen. He'd have an auto pen problem. Joe Biden, he didn't sign.
Now, look at this little girl over here on the left. She shook her head yes, like she understands what he's saying. Did you see that, Logan? He would have an auto pen over here. Watch her, watch her, watch her.
Biden would use the auto pen. He'd have an auto pen problem. Joe Biden, he didn't sign. He was incapable of signing anything. So they'd follow him around with a big machine.
He was incapable of signing anything. They would follow him around with a big machine.
You know what it's called? An auto pen. And he'd have the auto pen signed for it. He'd take the paper, hand it to his guys, and sign it with an auto pen, give it back.
He'd hand it to his guys, and they have to sign it with an auto pen. Now, Logan, this is the, I think this is the video we were talking about. These kids, it's like this kid over here to the right with the blue shirt on, right there, that's got the paper in the air. That looks like the kid that used to be on The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody with that haircut. Yeah? Doesn't it look like Zach or Cody? Logan, have you checked out of the night's program already? Are you already disinterested? You're doing something else. What could else you be doing other than enjoying this broadcast? Working? All right. He's dual tasking. All right. The kid in the blue looks like he's out of The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. The kid in the green, Logan, the one that just moved, is scratching his face right there, moved his hair. You know what that looks like? I think that looks like Gunther from the Dennis the Menace with Walter Matthau. I looked up the picture earlier today. Is that Gunther? Do you have a comparison? Do you have a side-by-side? Yes. That's what I thought, too. I thought maybe Gunther had reappeared from Dennis the Menace with Walter Matthau. These kids all look the same. Maybe they're out of central casting. I don't know. Some gal came sporting her sunglasses already. You knew it was going to be a bright day out there, apparently. But his granddaughter is not interested in his autograph. Okay, I can understand that. I think I got a couple more that I found funny. I don't know. Maybe the audience doesn't find these as humanizing as I do. I think they're pretty funny because he talks to these kids like they're little adults and they're just like going with it. Okay. All right, here we go. Someone asked him, how old are you? Let's see. Is that what happened? Someone asked him how old you are? Here we go.
51.
What?
51. How old are you? I said 51.
He said, he asked me how old I am. I said 51.
51.
I thought you were 46. I thought you were 46.
All right, now she says she can do the Trump dance. There you go.
What a great dancer.
A good dance. Donald Trump.
They're all calling him Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Okay. All right, now his beautiful wife showed up over there. What do you think happened when she showed up? Well, what's that? What was that? We were supposed to have a guest there. Am I going too long? Was that a kid? Was that a cue, Logan? You didn't mean to do that. All right. Because you're auto-tasking or auto-pinning in there or something, right? Melania Trump shows up. And what do you think happened when Melania showed up? Well, some of them wanted to know who she was. Some of them had no clue, apparently, who she is. So let's see. All right, here we go. Here's where the kids start asking who she is. Here we go.
Yeah.
Wait, do I have another audio? Is that it? That's it?
I don't know. He's a movie star.
Okay, someone says, who are you? And he says she's a movie star.
I don't know. He's a movie star. He came in from Hollywood. You know what
Thank you so much. Oh my God! What is your favorite color in your house?
What's your favorite color in the house? He's already told her that she came in from Hollywood. She's a movie star.
What is your favorite color? What is your favorite color?
You have to take you over.
What is your favorite?
Elegant, what do you say? Elegant what? Elegant lady? Something. I don't know. But you can tell he has a lot of grandkids around him at times because he is not letting these kids get the best of him. He's not at all rattled by all their questions and what they're doing. All right, here's a good one. He gives some financial advice to one little kid. Here we go.
I could sign autographs. And then tonight you can sell them for $25,000. I'll sell it.
Carolina, do you want to give Grandpa your
Carolina's the only one that doesn't want my autograph. Zero. I would say Carolina has zero interest.
Oh, is that, he already said it? Oh, yeah, but he said it to another little girl, a different clip. So he's told two kids, you can sell my autograph for $25,000. I got so many clips, I can't keep them all straight. Well, there was another one where he was more blunt about it, Logan. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. I knew I had it. Here we go.
He's our best looking.
The little girl right behind you.
got another one behind you? Hold on, here.
Hi, honey. Let me have it. Wow, did you do this boat by yourself? That was good. I sign it. Sign it, and you'll sell it tonight on eBay. $25,000.
You sell it tonight on eBay for $25,000. Signature. All right, there you go. I thought those, I don't know. I got a little kick out of that in this crazy, serious world. Speaking of serious, I don't know how seriously Iran's taking him with the Easter Bunny standing next to him, making this announcement.
He said normally when you're in very hostile territory, and I don't think it gets much more hostile than
I don't
Iran.
know.
They're capable fighters. They're very tough people.
What do you think the
And
Easter
there are
Bunny's
others like that.
thinking
You don't
about
mind
this,
when the
Logan?
enemy is weak, but that enemy is strong.
I think it's Jared
Not
Kushner
so
in
strong
there.
like they were about a month ago. I can tell you, in fact, right now they're not too
too
strong
short.
at
Maybe it's
all, in
Marco
my
Rubio.
opinion,
He
but
does
we're
everything
soon
else.
going to find out, aren't we?
I bet
But
you it's
when
Marco
a
Rubio.
thing like
He
that
does
happens,
everything
where
else, so why
pilots
not
shot
be the
down,
Easter Bunny?
In most instances, you're really not able to go in because you'll go in
The
with
Easter
200
Bunny's like,
people
you know, you're
and
kind of killing the
lots of
buzz here,
jet
Mr.
fighters
President.
and
Can we keep it
helicopters,
moving?
and, you
We're
really
here
don't
to
have a
celebrate
chance. They get shot down.
rolling
You lose
Easter
200
eggs, and
in order to pick up one, it's a horrible thing.
You're
but it's
talking
very
about
rare that
taking
you can
out
do
human
it. And
beings.
what
The kids
we
are
did
getting a
yesterday
little-
is we picked up not one.
Kids
we
are getting
picked
a
up
little
two. We
antsy.
kept the
Gotta
first
move it
one
along.
Quiet, and we were able to keep it quiet for about a day, which made it a lot better. But those two pilots were incredible, brave, and we thank them. And we're going to be having a news conference today at 1 o'clock at the Oval Office, and we look forward to it. But I just want to say we have a great military. We're the greatest military, the most powerful military any place in the world.
You think the Easter Bunny agrees with that? Most powerful military. I don't know if Iran's taking this that seriously right now with the Easter Bunny next to him. But it is what it is. All right. I guess that's about all the fun clips I got tonight. Everything else is we're going to be pretty serious. But we got to have some fun along the way. And I thought that was pretty humorous and fun. I actually watched a lot of that today live while I was researching and coming up with news stories. But yeah, sell that tonight on eBay for $25,000. There you go. All right, Dolly's back. What are you back for now, Dolly? Let's see. Am I missing anything? Oh, I know what I've missed. We're got to get going, but I know what I missed, Logan. We are brought to you by you guys, worldviewtube.com/sponsors. You know how it works. Gatatana, I take that each and every day. I have it for dinner every night. A little Gatatana, a scoop, is one scoop, the equivalent of 90 billion plant cells, billions and billions of plant cells. And I have it with my dinner each and every night. Phytoplankton feeds down to the mitochondria level of your cells to boost your own immune system so your own immune system can fight off all the bad stuff. Oh, you know what I mean. The dreaded C word. Not making claims. I'm just telling you why I take it. Because remember, the guy that developed it, that's what he got. And he started eating the phytoplankton and came back benign. His 11 biopsies came back benign. Lived another 10 years in Hawaii into his 80s. So Melissa and I take that every day. Dolly gets half a scoop, don't you, Dolly, on her food every morning. And, of course, the water purifier, because we don't want to drink in all those nasty, horrible chemicals. You don't want to drink in poisons. But this is another reason why you want to have a water filter to get all this stuff out. But whatever you don't filter out, which is impossible to filter out everything, that's why you do the Numi, the glutathione. But you got to get your water filter. And then after you get your water filter, get your glutathione to detox your cells. Okay, swish it for about 3 minutes and swallow or spit it out. There's 165,000 studies on glutathione to detox your cells. Okay, it's not a joke. 165,000 studies on glutathione. So we swish every day with glutathione. We take our Gatatana, and the other thing we take is our Bella Grace. I take the Bella Grace elixir. If I can find it. There it is. I take that each and every day, the Bella Grace elixir, with the cat's claw, the anti-inflammatory, which is the cat's claw, the high-end collagen with the peptides cut short so your body absorbs it, and then the astaxanthin, which crosses the brain-blood barrier, take on those free radicals, okay? So this, again, has over 100 clinical trials on this. Highly recommend this as well. I do these 3 things each and every day. Of course, Worldview Talk for your solar generators, your bulletproof backpacks, your satellite phones. You can also get your Bivy that allows you to text over your phone, even if the cell towers are down. You use your cell phone to compose the text, but then when you hit send, it goes through the Bivy and up to a satellite and down to your family member that has a Bivy tied to their phone as well. So you can find all of this stuff at, in fact, there's the Bivy right there. You can find all of this stuff at worldviewtalk.com, worldviewtalk.com. All kinds of stuff that knock down the EMF, like the maternity shield for ladies, obviously for ladies, shirts, all kinds of stuff on here, guys. Worldviewtalk.com, worldviewtalk.com. Of course, we've already plugged Dolly Shop, dollyfood.shop tonight, dollyfood.shop. Already plugged that tonight. So again, check it all out. Help keep us going. Worldviewtube.com/sponsors. Let's get going. Joining me now is Patrick Wood. Look at this headline. Scientists quietly pitching cloned human bodies to transfer your brain into. Cue the evil laugh. Don't you think we should have cued the evil laugh? Logan's got a bunch of sound effects in there. Logan, do you not have an evil laugh in one of your sound effect packages over there? You don't have any. What's the worst evil thing you got? Oh, yeah. Get us an evil sound that we use for. What is, yeah. You don't have a like bum, bum, bum. Nothing like that even? He's got all kinds of sound effects in there. I don't know why we don't use those sound effects more, Logan. Anyway, joining me now is Patrick Wood. Hello, Patrick. Welcome back. Glad to have you with us. There you go. That's an evil laugh. That sounds like Patrick laughing off the air when I tell him a joke.
Yeah, I know.
Where'd that one come from, Logan? All right. Well, that's pretty good. All right. Scientists quietly pitching cloned human bodies to transfer your brain into. Can you tell me about this, please, Patrick?
Well, what do you think about it? This is.
Where are you going to get these cloned human bodies? You're cloning them. Are they going to grow them from babies to full-grown adults?
Yes, they want to harvest either stem cells or skin cells like they did Dolly the sheep. Remember, that's in 96, I think.
Yeah, not to be confused with Dolly the yellow Labrador.
Sorry, sorry for don't let her hear that.
Yeah,
It's not you, Dolly. Not that.
and
Dolly.
not her. She's like cloning me. What?
Well, this was started with a big ruckus, and I think it was 96 when some scientists got the idea, I'm going to clone a sheep, and he did. It didn't work out too well, I don't think, for the sheep, but nevertheless. So this is what they're saying. I thought at first this had to come from the Babylon Bee. You know, I thought, oh, somebody's really spoofing us or something on this, but no, they're really thinking. And the first thing that came out at first was, well, they're going to clone organ sacs. So they can grow things that could be transplanted into humans, like heart and liver and stuff like that. Organ sacs, really? Then they came out with this idea of cloning the human itself, but no brain. However, they're going to leave the brain out, so you can, when you die, your brain can be transmitted or transplanted into the clone of your body. How does that strike you?
I don't like it. It sounds creepy. It sounds like something of a bad sci-fi movie from the 1970s.
Well, there was a movie I remember, the evil Dr. Moreau, I think it was, a guy that experimented with chimeras and stuff like that on an island out in the Pacific, and it was a horrible movie. A horror movie for sure. But this has been a dream for genetic scientists. All the tinkering with genetic material, all genetic material on life. On the whole planet, and these people, when they get together with billionaires, that's the first problem for sure, because billionaires are willing to pay the money to get people like this to do stuff. See, so they're glad to do it, and keep the money flowing, and we'll do whatever you want. This is so insane, just totally insane, in my opinion.
But it's going somewhere. It's actually happening. I mean, what was the movie? Does anyone remember where you had the human bodies floating around in the glass cylinders underwater with oxygen tubes going to them? What was that film?
I can't remember. I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember it.
But they're really doing this stuff.
They are, yeah. Well, this has been a theme in science fiction for sure for several years. Well, maybe decades, I don't know, but nobody's really taken it seriously in the laboratories, but this company is, and they're taking a lot of heat for it, for sure. They're getting lots of pushback on social media and articles and stuff. Whatever. I don't think that will not defer them at all. I don't think.
No. Okay, so who's funding this?
I found a couple of companies that were funding it, but no specific names. I'm sure if we could dig further, we'll probably come up with a couple of names. But at this point, they're well funded. That's the point. they seem to have several $1 million at least annually at this point to further their research.
And of course, they're wanting to download your brain to it. Have they been able to even prove that's a thing, that's possible?
No, they haven't. Any more than Alcor. Remember Alcor, the company here in Scottsdale, Arizona, that'll freeze your brain or your head? Mm-hmm. Well, they have no proof at all that humans can be reanimated from a frozen state. So, what are they doing it for? There's no proof whatsoever that it works, but it's a perfect scam because your clients can't complain if the power goes out, so to speak. It's a perfect scam.
Well, the transhumanists are doing it because they want to try to live forever. That's their motivation, correct? They don't want to. They don't want to approach Judgment Day, right?
Exactly so. This is so sad too. You know, all they have to do is just ask, and they will receive, if you will, because eternal life is free for the asking. But they won't do that for sure because they don't believe in God in the first place. And why would they think that He's going to give them something free? Well, that'll be their loss when they wake up someday when they're dead and gone from this earth. They'll know the truth.
Yeah, indeed they will.
Really sad.
Yeah. All right, that's at technocracy.news, technocracy.news. Is there any other earth-shaking story over there?
Well, I would say probably the last two articles before that were very interesting articles. The State Department decided to send $1.25 billion from other programs to the Board of Peace. And you might remember that President Trump pledged $10 billion to the Board of Peace. He has no authority to do that, by the way, and that Congress has not authorized it. But nevertheless, he did. And so all of a sudden, the State Department scrapes together some funds from other programs, I guess, and gave the Board of Peace $1.25 billion. That's a lot of money, in my opinion. So this gives the Board of Peace operating capital to get started with the project in Gaza. There you go.
There you go. And we don't know where all that's coming. Logan's telling me that we need to play a trailer for you. Go to the second one. Logan says we need to play a trailer and get your response. Okay, you ready? Here we go.
I got this. We're 1196 on that possible hit and run SUV.
Officer down! Stay with me, Ray! LAPD, stay where you are! We got a runner! Go, 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 go!
My name is Detective Christopher Raven. We live in a world where murderers walk free, in a justice system bogged down by red tape and human error. That all ends with mercy. A judicial system powered by artificial intelligence with access to every camera, cell phone, and database. If you commit a capital crime, you have 90 minutes to prove your innocence to an AI judge, or you will be executed.
Detective Raven, I'm Judge Maddox, and this is the Mercy Capital Court.
Hold on, just wait a second.
You're before this court today charged with the murder of your wife.
I loved my wife. I didn't hurt her.
If you are innocent, prove it.
I need us to walk the scene. No, I have something here. We gotta go old school. That's a bomb.
Get me out of here!
You're running out of time.
Wow, thank you for that. Bring that back. Pause. Play it again. Can you find out who that is?
Do you want to uncover the truth? Even if the truth is dark.
Do you honestly think that I killed my wife?
I think there's more that you're not revealing.
All right, now, I saw the trailer for that last week somehow, Logan. I don't know how. It was a different one from that. And he supposedly helped to invent this AI jury system.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the next thing you know, he's being held by it. And he's got 90 minutes to prove his innocence. In the trailer I watched, the AI says, we're making all information and data available to you to use. And he starts putting the case together and bringing up information and asking stuff and going through cameras, trying in that 90 minutes to prove that he did not murder his wife. I don't know how the movie did because I'd never even heard of it, I don't think, till last week. So I have no idea how the movie did.
I think it's doing okay. I saw that movie just a few weeks ago when it first came out, and
You did?
on IMAX. And on the IMAX theater, it was really a spectacular theater for sure. But I went to see, and I was compelled for sure. But the theory is, of course, that AI could be the judge and the executioner at the same time. And we've seen this before with Judge Dredd in the science fiction movie from the 90s. But this is a new twist because AI is going to be making all the decisions and giving evidence for people to figure out if they're guilty or not. And as it turned out here, this guy was not guilty. And there was a twist in the end of the movie. I won't reveal it, perhaps, but this surprising twist that AI got dressed down a little bit because it was wrong. But there was a stunning movie, in my opinion, and it was, pretty well done.
Huh. All right, let's go to this headline. Apple forces iPhone users to prove age with ID or lose unrestricted internet access. Now, most people reading that would probably say, hey, that's a good idea. Kids should have to prove their age so they're not getting on sites they shouldn't be on. But they don't care about the children. Are you telling me all of these globalists and change agents care about the children all of a sudden? So we know this has got to be a smokescreen. It's not about the children. What is this really all about, Patrick?
Well, this is it. You have to identify everybody else and have them send out in their identifying, like your scan of your driver's license or some government document or whatever. This is what's going on in Australia right now as well. This, of course, Australia is an extension of the UK. But this technology is going to be focused on America at some point, because we have a lot of people that we want to identify, but you have to have everybody else in society identified first before you can figure out who the bad guys are. So it's disingenuous to think that you're protecting some small group of people, even children, just so you can get all this other information from all the adults in the population. That's really insane. And it's very thin, in my opinion. But I say this, Apple is the one that initiated this, apparently. That's what the people in the UK are saying. Apple did this on its own. This is very disturbing because Apple could just do that here if they decided to.
Take a look at this. We've talked a lot about Alexander Dugan and Tucker Carlson. Watch and listen, please.
So there's the downfall of the Western unipolarity and the rise of the multipolarity.
And so you're watching the end of the global American empire, the unipolar world. And so the death of the unipolar moment and of the institutions within the evangelical movement, American Protestant Christianity, are going away, but they will be replaced by something better and purer.
Okay, can we stop right there? Wait a minute. So the evangelical movement's going away to be replaced by something better and pure, says the Romans 1 fool who we have prayed that God would give him over and that he would be judged in front of the whole world per Genesis 12. We prayed for his repentance. Now he's become an enemy of the church, an enemy of Christians, an enemy of the gospel. He is, I believe, exactly the kind of person the Lord speaks of when he says to stop casting your pearls before swine. Stop. They got it. Important to get that right, by the way. And stop casting your pearls. See, my dyslexia kicked in and I got it backwards. Stop casting your pearls before swine. Those who mock the gospel and tread it underfoot. Tucker, in my biblical opinion, would be that. So now we're praying for God to judge him for the whole world to see, not because we rejoice in that, but because we want a living example of God judging people per Genesis 12:3 to be a warning to others. And so Tucker is an evil guy. I mean, I don't know what his background is from his family tree, but in my opinion, you should put him on the short list for the Antichrist. But he's probably too stupid to be the Antichrist. But he is an evil, evil, evil guy. I mean, he is he likes to say that he can't stand the Christian Zionist. Well, that's fine. The feeling's mutual. You're an idiot, Tucker. I've challenged you to come on here and debate me live, but you're such a little sissy girl. You apparently won't do that. Because as I've said before, I'd have you crying in the corner like a little girl by the time I got done with you, theologically and worldview-wise. You wouldn't be able to handle the truth, because you're a fool. You're a dark-hearted fool, Romans 1. You suppress the truth and unrighteousness, apparently. These are my opinions. This is my theological analysis of you. Now we just need to have you come on the show to verify it in real time. But little Tucker Nancy Carlson won't do it. But go ahead, Patrick.
Well, this business of him interviewing Dugan is totally misinformation, in my opinion, because Alexander Dugan is promoting multipolarity. That means China, maybe
Russia. I mean, he's
Russia,
Putin's
at least.
brain, for Pete's sake.
And the BRICS nations as well. Well, good luck with that. At this point, we don't have multipolarity at all. But their wishful thinking is that's going to be the case. And I don't know exactly how this is going to play out, but I think it's going to play out badly for anybody who wants to adopt this philosophy of multipolarity.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
And having said that, who's the strong gorilla in the room right now, the living room? It's Trump. He's bashing the whole world at one time, basically, in South America and the Middle East with Iran and Europe with Ukraine. I tell you what, this wishful thinking that the United States is just going to be swept away into the dustbin of history. Trump will not allow that to happen at this point, for sure.
No, he will not. But one has to wonder what God is going to allow to happen.
Exactly.
And I think at some point America does get absorbed.
I think probably so. But, the thing is, I will take my cues from God rather than Dugan.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Let's finish the rest of that clip. Here we go. Back it up just a little bit.
Within the evangelical movement, American Protestant Christianity, are going away, but they will be replaced by something better and purer.
We are living in the crucial moment of this emergence of multipolarity,
including Russia, China, Iran, and say it's time for a new world order where we are partners in this relationship.
I think that's the wisest possible advice and probably the only path that preserves civilization.
I really have to wonder if Tucker hasn't converted to Islam. I really do.
That's probably a possibility of that. But who knows? I mean, he's just an idiot. But what he's spraying out there is just pure fiction. Yeah. Really is. And so, is the church under attack? Of course it is. We know that. It's just under attack everywhere you look. Even at the level of the White House, all the people surrounding Trump right now, like people like old Paula White Kane, and this is this pure lunacy. This does not represent Orthodox, traditional, Bible-believing evangelical Christians for sure. And most Christians today would look at the scene in Washington D.C. that just tear their hair out at that point. It's what is going on. So, is the church under attack? Absolutely it is, but not because Tucker says it's under attack.
Mm-hmm. He's just one of the many useful idiots out there. And, they got this prayer rally coming up on the in May for the 250th anniversary of America. Can you just wait for the nuts and the freaks that are going to show up at that prayer rally? Because is there a website yet, Logan, that and it's going to announce the freaks and weirdos that'll be at that? He's going to look.
Yeah.
But when the list breaks, we'll share it because there's going to be some weirdos and some freaks. You know it. A total freak fest. Prayers that won't go past the ceiling.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, really is.
Technocracy.news. That's the website, technocracy.news. Patrick Wood checking in tonight. Thank you as always, Patrick. Appreciate you.
My pleasure.
You too. Patrick Wood checking in will be, he's got a brand new book out, by the way. Brand new book out. I almost failed to mention that. And it is called Technocracy, the new economics of technocracy. There it is, right there. If you'd like to order it, you can get it at technocracy.news, technocracy.news. I think I did a blurb for it, didn't I? I know I did because I wrote the blurb, so I know I did. I don't know if it's on the back, on the inside cover. I have no idea. Oh, look at that. I might be able to find it, Logan. Have you seen it? I don't know. There's the outline. Oh, will it be on the back cover? Let's see. Oh, look at that. It's the first time I'm seeing that, all of us together. Oh, did I see Andy Woods on there? Yeah, Andy Woods, Mark Skidmore, and Brandon House. Well, there you go. I'm glad he used it. Well, there you go. Technocracy.news to get your copy. The new economics of technocracy. You will own nothing. Patrick Wood, the latest book out. And by the way, Patrick will be a keynote speaker for us at our national conference, our 22nd annual National Worldview Weekend. Coming up Friday night, October 23rd, Saturday, October 24th. It's our first time to ever hold the national conference itself in the Milwaukee area. We've held events there, but never our national conference. That will happen Friday night, Lord willing, October 23rd. Saturday, October 24th at the beautiful Waukesha Expo Center. Now, we were there for a one-night rally a year ago this past April 2025. We had standing room only. It is free for the first time ever in 22 years. We'll have to take an offering and raise the money through the year. Renting the building alone for 2 days is over $10,000. But we're going to make it free this year for the first time ever. But you will have to have a ticket, folks. WorldviewTube.com/events. Dr. Woods, Patrick Wood, Sharam Hady, myself, Alex Newman, Dr. Erwin Lutzer, and Annie Cyrus. Those are the speakers that are confirmed. WorldviewTube.com/events. You will have to get a ticket. So do that if you would, please. We sure appreciate it. All right, there you go. And we'll be right back with Annie Cyrus. Don't go away. We live in uncertain times. In fact, we live at a time when our own governments all over the world are warning us that there could be big problems with our power grid. World War III seems to be right on the horizon. Let me ask you this. Do you have a satellite phone? Should communications go down with cell towers? Do you have a satellite phone to get a hold of that college student or your spouse who travels, whatever it might be, to get a hold of your senior adult parents? We have satellite phones at worldviewtalk.com, and you get the satellite phone for free when you sign up for their very reasonable payment programs for the service. Sign up for the service with a reasonable contract, get the satellite phone for free. Worldviewtalk.com. You'll also find they have, well, what I now have, which is a solar generator. Yeah, I have a gas generator, an LP propane generator, but what if that goes down? I want to back up to my backup. So I now have a solar generator as well. You'll find them at worldviewtalk.com. Check it out today, worldviewtalk.com. Joining me now is Annie Cyrus to deal with several things related to Israel and Iran and the Middle East and, yes, the United States of America. Look at this. New York Post reporting ISIS calls on Muslims to set fire to churches and synagogues across U.S., Europe, and twisted Easter threat. This is exactly what Annie and I were talking about. Now, it's been for a few years, but I think we were saying, Annie, we got a lot more stories than that, but I think we were saying particularly that the Islamists were going to turn their attention to the churches and the synagogues and soft targets here in America. And now they're calling for attacks on any target that causes fear and chaos. Here we go, Annie.
All right, ready, set, 3, 2, 1, let's go. I'm not shocked.
No.
Today's been that day where I just have this a smile and I can't help it. And it's not boasting, it's that of, you're finally all catching up with what we've been saying for so long. It is not going away. It is not about don't provoke them, they won't attack us. It's just the way it is. unless we stand up to every single one of them. And I want to put something here because I've been hearing it for a couple of days. I genuinely don't care. At this point, I don't care who funded Hamas, who created ISIS, who armed Al-Qaeda. Because somebody would have done it anyways. Because for 1400 years, somebody did it anyways. So when you sit there to argue Israel created Hamas, false by the way, but okay, you're right. US created Al-Qaeda, okay, fine, all correct. But if you don't point at the root of the problem, which is that book named Quran, that pedophile named Prophet Muhammad, and that book Reliance of the Traveler, these are the problem.
But
get rid of
Israel
those
didn't,
three.
you're not saying Israel created Hamas. You're saying Israel funded Hamas, right?
No, Israel didn't fund Hamas either. I broke this down on my Substack a year ago. The only thing Israel is guilty of is that when Hamas started becoming the non-profit humanitarian group opposing PLO, Israel did not stop them. They allowed them to keep their 501c, and that is the only part Israel did. It's on the paper, it's proven, but that's not even Israel funding Hamas. Israel left the floodgate open for Hamas to continue collecting money through their 501c. That's all.
But they were the ones running the government. And yet instead of using it for humanitarian aid in schools and hospitals, they were building terror tunnels, I should say, and weaponry and whatnot, correct?
Exactly. They all do that. Look, now today we have confirmation Islamic Republic of Iran did the same thing. While the people in Iran were starving, had no water except 2 days a week, and they were suffering through all sort of disaster and poverty, Islamic regime was building their underground missile facilities, and they were building their tunnels. It's, again, pattern repeats itself. As long as people are going to deny the pattern, they're not going to get ahead of this.
All right, let's turn to this. Here we go. This is at the United Nations. Here we go.
Lives. Hundreds of U.S. Marines in Lebanon, thousands of troops in Iraq. American hostage after hostage has suffered. Our ships fired upon dozens of times in the Red Sea. Iran has armed and financed militant organizations that undermine lawful governments and destabilize an already fragile region. Lives.
That was at the United Nations the end of February, and it was confronting the Iranian regime and what they're doing. But now you and I were reporting last week, they're now arming children. That's one report. Let's see, what else do we have here? President Trump, he's saying that tomorrow night could be the night. Now, don't start laughing. He's saying tomorrow night, I can see you're trying to hold your laugh and your smile in. Quit it.
Get me off camera.
I see tomorrow night might be the night. What do you make of that?
Yeah, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern is the time. We're down to time now. Oh, Lord. I was on another show today, and I said nothing against Trump, but let's face it. The reality is Trump can make up his mind. First off, because he doesn't get good information, because his advisors are not the right people for the job. He had no idea how many options are going to be, or as I phrase it, how many cakes are going to be on the table. He doesn't know which cake he wants. He doesn't know if he wants to stay there and take the oil. He doesn't know if he wants to be the famous, popular, going down in history as the best president and liberate people of Iran. He doesn't know if he wants to stay in good relations with Saudi Arabia and Qatar. There are just too many options. He doesn't know what he wants to do. Also, he never thought that Araghchi is going to come back, the foreign minister of Islamic Republic of Iran, going to come back and say no to the ceasefire, 45 days temporary ceasefire plan. He had no. When you read his truth post, the level of anger, which I hope we're going to address that truth social
You mean
post.
the one where he dropped the F-bomb on Resurrection Sunday?
Yes, but that wasn't the key part. The very closing of that before dropping his name, where we go with praise be upon Allah. Mm-hmm. That one needs to be addressed on both angles. But
was he mocking them? when he did that? When he said, praise be to Allah, was he mocking them?
Most Trump supporters are taking it as a mocking. I'm not. And I can explain why I'm not. The reason I can see, of course, Trump supporters would look at it that way. But mind you, the Allah is supposedly mocking is the same Allah of Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and the rest of them. It's the same Allah of Ismail Royer, the convicted jihadist who served 13 years prison time in America, is now sitting at his religious liberty chair. Like, you wouldn't go there. No, you wouldn't. I don't think that's what it is. But even if he's mocking it, still, that's, first of all, that should never be a language, not the Allah part, the rest of that. That should never be a language that an American president would use, at least publicly. He did it a few times last year, and it's like now it's normalized for President Trump to walk around and drop curse words. But also, the Allah part is an issue that I think, in a mocking way or a serious way, it should not be looked over. It needs to be addressed.
Well, particularly to do all of that on Resurrection Sunday.
Exactly.
On Resurrection Sunday, which, you know, most Americans, I should say a lot of Americans, went to church. They were gathering with family. They were observing the resurrection of the Lord, regardless of their denominational background or whatever. Many of them see it as a very solemn and serious and contemplative day to observe the resurrection. And everybody's trying to be respectful and reverent, right?
Exactly.
And yet this happens on Resurrection Day. There's just like, it's like showing up at your grandmother's house on Resurrection Sunday meal and dropping the F-bomb at her table, and then while you're at it, praising Allah. You'd be like, you're not reading the room. Did you not? I mean, this is a problem pretty much for anyone to do publicly, certainly a president any day. But of all days today, it's just like, why? Why?
Exactly. I feel like, as always, it's not getting the attention it should be getting. And when people like me and you bring it up, of course, there's like, oh, you're misreading Trump. Trump is a genius. I'll tell you what, I am borderline genius by standard of America. In America, if your IQ is over 140, you're considered a genius. Mine is 138. And I can't tell you how many stupid things I've done and I've said. Being a genius has nothing to do with what comes out of your mouth, especially when it comes to Trump. That being said, back to it, he wasn't expecting a full-on rejection. That's why he's very frustrated. That's why
he wasn't frustrated. He was really angry, wasn't he?
He was lashing out.
Yeah.
That truth post. And again, if we were to be honest with ourselves, we would say, is this a leader? Like, look at the other end. Look at Netanyahu, Bibi. He's keeping quiet when he knows he might say the wrong thing. He's not popping on cameras every 2 hours saying something. And when he does, and he's under way more heat than Trump, right? But he's calculated. He doesn't come out throwing things around. That's what a leadership, at least to me, looks like. I don't know what he's doing behind closed doors. Maybe he's bashing chairs to the wall. But I don't need to see that.
Didn't he mock the prince, one of the leaders, the Prince of Saudi Arabia?
You mean Bibi did?
No, President Trump.
Yes, that's the thing. President Trump is.
What did he say? I just heard he mocked him. What did he say?
Well, you mean today? I don't know about today. The last time he mocked him, which made him very upset, was during his inaugural meeting of his Board of Peace, when he mocked Saudi Arabia's prince by saying, you don't have enough money if there's unlimited seating available with up to 25% share to my board is the king of Bahrain. In his face, he literally said that. That's the one I'm referring to. I don't know what he said today.
Came from March 28th. He didn't think he'd be Donald Trump mocks Saudi crown prince as Iran war rages on. Trump's comment came at a time when the U.S.-Israel war against Iran continues to roll. The West, Asia region and fan uncertainty in global markets. U.S. President Donald Trump talked about Saudi Arabia's crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman. Crudely, at a recent event, Trump's comments came at a time when U.S.-Israel war against Iran continues to roll, as I said that. Speaking at a Saudi-banked investment forum, he said he, quote, didn't think this was going to happen. He didn't think he'd be kissing my blank. He really didn't, end quote. That's so Trump. That is so Donald Trump.
Yes, but if this was not a late night show, I would be laughing with you. But again, this is presidential. I don't know. Maybe I'm still older school. Maybe I still like what it was 24 years ago when I was introduced to America. The concept of charisma, but manners, toughness, but factual. Like, there's no way you can claim everything you did as the biggest and best in history. Right. Especially when the entire country, even those who cover up for you, know very well that you don't read books. Therefore, you don't know much history.
Well, and I'm not laughing because I agree with it. I just chuckle this sometimes because I just, like you, I grew up under, Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, and certainly Reagan just didn't do this kind of thing publicly. And you just sometimes have to chuckle because you're like, I can't believe he just said that.
It's that time of it's so tragic that it becomes comedy. Exactly. Well, but yeah, bottom line with Trump is tomorrow, 8 p.m., nothing's going to happen. The point is, what is there to happen? Let me ask you this, Brennan. What is there to happen? We've been at it for 6 weeks.
Well, he says he's going to blow up their infrastructure, their power plants and oil, but he wants all that. He already chided Israel for going after some of their infrastructure and told them, don't do that, because apparently he wants that oil. So is he now going to go against what he reportedly told Benjamin Netanyahu not to do, and now he's going to go do it? You remember that, right? When he chided them for hitting some of their oil?
Yes, and I actually said that it is sad that nobody told President Trump those didn't belong to Iran. Those were owned by IRGC. So Israel is hitting the right places. They're draining IRG. Let me tell you this, and I know it keeps out. If people tell me one more time that why don't you go live in Israel, you love Israel so much, I might just consider it. The truth of the matter is Israel has hit all the right places. Why? Because I reported this morning that yesterday, last night, our time, local time, Iran, morning time of Monday, the embassy of Iran in Afghanistan put out an announcement saying we're ready to collect donations from Afghan people to continue the war. IRGC is fundraising through Afghan people to continue the war. That tells you that Israel's been hitting the right places. When they did that in Paris, I came and said, President Trump, I'm sorry nobody's telling you, but this was not something for you to get upset with. This was a very good calculated hit that just drained IRGC half of their income for next 2 months. But yes, exactly. Trump is not going to do what he's going to. If he does, let me say this. On this, what is today? Monday, April 6, 2026. If President Trump tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time hits the targets he's claiming he's going to hit, the level of criminal charges against him inside America and International Criminal Court are going to skyrocket before he can catch his next press release.
But isn't that exactly what a reporter today asked him, Logan? Will we have that clip? A reporter asked him about war crimes, I think. And I think he asked what news outlet they were with when they asked that. I thought I had that clip up here.
And then he responded with, your news outlet is fake news and you're stupid.
Yeah, I think this is it right here. I think I got it. Here we go.
I'd have them stay away. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President, for the question. Deliberate attacks on civilian infrastructure violate the Geneva Conventions and international law.
Who are you with?
I'm with the New York Times. Zolan from the New York Times. Are you
failing?
Are you concerned?
Circulation way down at the New York Times.
Are you concerned that your threat to bomb power plants and bridges amount to
No, not at all. No, I'm not. I hope I don't have to do it. But again, I just said 47 years they've been negotiating with these people. They're great negotiators.
Why would that not
because
violate
they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. And if somebody that takes my place someday is weak and ineffective, which possibly that will happen because we had numerous presidents that were weak, ineffective, and afraid of Iran, we're never going to let Iran have a nuclear weapon. And if you think it's okay for people that are sick of mind, that are tough, smart, and sick, really sick, from a policy standpoint, from a standpoint, any which way you want to say, mentally, these are disturbed people. If you think I'm going to allow them, and powerful and rich, to have a nuclear weapon, you can tell your friends at the New York Times, not going to happen.
Violating international law.
Quiet. You no longer have credibility at the New York Times because the New York Times said, oh, Trump won't win the election, and I won in a landslide. I won every swing state. New York Times said, oh, Trump won't win the election. New York Times has no credibility. The credibility they have is it used to be all the news that's fit to print. The old gray lady, it was great, but they're running on past fumes, and you can't keep doing that. You have to be able to give the correct news. And people like you, who I know, are fake. You're fake. Go ahead, please.
There you go. So,
did any of that make sense to you? Because none of it made sense to me. None of it. Let's go. We want to hold on to old grudges, President Trump. Just because somebody's rating is down doesn't mean their question is not legit, number one. Secondly, old grudges. Didn't you come on camera and say you completely destroyed all of Iran's nuclear facilities last year? What are you doing in there today? And you want to explain to me how what you're saying you hope you don't have to do, but you'll do it if you have to. What does that have to do with their nuclear? The enriched uranium is inside the heart of Kolang Mountain. Go dig. Last year, when people like me submitted documentations to White House begging for somebody to look into Kolang Mountain, nobody even responded with, you're crazy. Now, today you want to tell me if you go and completely wipe Iran off, then you have achieved your goal of stopping them from building nuclear weapon? I don't get it. And I want to be very clear. This isn't about me being Iranian. This could have been happening in Iraq, and I would say the same thing. Nothing he said in that made sense to me. Now I'll stop talking.
Let's see. We do also have, I guess this came from Iranian state television. Here we go. Whoa, that's awfully hot. Let's try that again. About as hot as my wife. Here we go.
فردا در اطراف نیروگاه‌های برق کشور زنجیره انسانی جوانان تشکیل می‌شود. علیرضا رحیمی دبیر شورای عالی جوانان و نوجوانان کشور در پی پیشنهاد جوانان خلاق و فعالان گروه‌های مردمی از جوانان و چهره‌های فرهنگی، هنری و ورزشی دعوت کرد برای تشکیل زنجیره انسانی در اطراف نیروگاه‌های برق کشور در ساعت 14 حضور پیدا کنند.
You guys get all that? Did you get that, guys? Did you get that? I didn't understand a word of it. That's all Greek to me. What did he just say? Because he was speaking Farsi, right? He's speaking Farsi, your language, right?
Yes. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. local time of Iran, they will be building human walls around all infrastructures. How's that for go ahead and deliver? Can I lose it for a minute, Brian? You stand there with a straight face and you say, smart people, very rich, smart people. By the way, if they were smart, they wouldn't be Muslims.
Right.
FYI. But you want to tell them they're smart, okay. And you say, but they're sick in the head. If you know they're sick in the head, what makes you think they're not going to rack up the entire 90 million population of that country in front of your bombs? And then you're not worried about any of the violations?
They've already killed, what, between 40 and 80,000 of their own people just in the last few months, right?
In 2 days, Brandon, the final report of 43,000 was January 8th and 9th. And then it racked up to 80,000 by end of January. And by the way, today I reported 14 of those who were arrested, not killed, arrested. 14 of them have been executed in last 20 days. Confirmed one by one myself. So yes, there you go. Go ahead and hit them tomorrow at 8 p.m. President Trump, because they're going to have millions. And it wasn't a request, by the way. It was a command. So yeah, IRGC is going to have human shield around every single infrastructure. Go ahead and hit them now. You know what's the interesting part? I'm sorry, I need to calm down. I can't. It's interesting. Every time I say something about something Trump said, people are like, oh, you don't know Trump. He's a genius. He's telling you this to confuse you about that. He doesn't tell publicly what his plans are. Really? Huh? That was very genius. That was the exact part he should have kept away from public. But no, he said it. He said it. He put it out there. Now, let me ask you this, Brandon. What are our guarantees that tomorrow around 9 p.m. Eastern time, a bomb doesn't drop and kill all of those people that are shaped as a human shield, blaming U.S.? Well, no, it wasn't U.S., but go ahead and prove it. And who's going to answer for all those dead Iranians who were killed by the hands of very sick regime that he just admitted knowing they're sick, because he won't actually step back and follow Israel into this? Okay, I think I'm done.
Did you see this today? Here we go. Listen.
So, yeah, there were people within the military that said it's a wise. And don't forget, how many men did you send altogether, approximately, for the operation?
I'd love to keep that a secret.
Okay, well, we are. But I will tell you, the number, I'll keep it a secret, but it was hundreds. And hundreds of these people, it's pretty good. Is he central casting?
Okay, I think that was the chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, wasn't it, guys? General Kane. Look that up, Logan. I think General Kane is the new chairman of the Joint Chiefs, please. But he wanted to know how many men did you send altogether? And General Kane wants to keep that a secret. But
that's smart.
I'm hearing we have sent, the number sounds so high, I don't even want to repeat it. Have you heard the number? I'm hearing like 30,000 or more. Have we really sent that many? 40,000?
Oh, see, I have
I'll tell you what, if you figure 3 aircraft carriers, they just sent the USS George H. Bush. You have the Abraham Lincoln, and what's the other one, guys? The Gerald Ford, is it? What are the 3 aircrafts in the region? Look those up too, please. He is chairman of the Joint Chiefs, okay. I think they had to pull one out to get fixed, and the George H. went in. But if you figure how many men and women are on those ships, each of those ships, and then the Marines that they've sent in, yeah, we have to be approaching, then the number I heard was 40 to 50,000 in the region, ready for this. It's a lot of people. The Lincoln, Ford, and Bush. So I had that right. Which one did they pull? They pulled one of them because it needed repairs. But Lincoln, Ford, and Bush are in the region. They pulled the Ford. Non-combat fire. That's exactly right. That went on for some time before they put it out. So they had to pull the Ford. So they got the Lincoln and the George H. in the region. Thought they brought another one in to replace it. The Triple E. I thought they brought in the Triple E off the top of my head. Let's see. Yeah, it's an amphibious ship. It's not a carrier, but that's still a pretty big ship. It's got 3,500 on board. So we got a lot of people in the region. So in my Worldview Report tonight, broadcast for the commentary, I said this is exactly what Colonel Rob Maness and many of us were talking about a couple months ago. Whether it was last summer and then leading up to this, these wars always go longer than you anticipate, cost more than you anticipate. They go longer than you expect and cost more than you anticipate. And I don't see an off-ramp. Now, Last week it was, we don't need this. We're leaving it up to Europe. You guys get in there. We've done our part. It's yours for the taking. I mean, I took my notes. Let's see here. He said last week in that primetime speech, where'd it go?
He said, we don't need a Strait of Hormuz. If French wants their oil, go get it at the Strait yourself.
Just go to the Strait and take it. The hard part has been done. That's what he said.
Yeah, but that's what I mean by he doesn't know which cake he wants. Does he want to take the oil? Didn't he put out some like cute little, what about leave the oil, what do you think? Or something like that on his Truth Social, asking people, apparently now people tell him what to do about Iran's oil.
Didn't he say we their navy, we destroyed their defense systems. We have so much oil in the U.S., but Europe, if you want it, then just go take it. And now we're back to tomorrow night. We'll see what happens. Now you say nothing's going to happen, and we'll follow up. But here's another clip. Here we go.
Hate to do it, but we're obliterating, and they just don't want to say uncle. They don't want to cry, as the expression goes, uncle, but they will. And if they don't, they'll have no bridges, they'll have no power plants, they'll have no anything. I won't go further because there are other things that are worse than those two. And we might have, well, the thing, if I had my choice, what would I like to do? Take the oil. Because it's there for the taking. There's not a thing they can do about it. Unfortunately, the American people would like to see us come home. If it were up to me, I'd take the oil, I'd keep the oil, and would make plenty of money. And I'd also take care of the people of Iran, much better than they've been taken care of. It's been horrible. They've killed 45,000 people as of a month and a half ago. 45,000 protesters. We don't do that. So if I had my choice, I'd keep the oil. But I also want to make the people of our country happy. I think most people wouldn't understand that.
Note.
Notice that
President
last
Trump.
sentence. That's the last sentence. I want to keep the people of our country happy. I don't think they would understand that. And I'm reading between the lines. He realizes he cannot have this war go down as being about oil, because that's what they all said about George W. Bush when it came to Iraq. And so if I read between the lines with that last tag, he's trying not to be George Bush in that, oh, this was all about oil. Isn't that what he just said, basically?
He literally said that, especially because I think for a moment he realized, oops, we've been telling everybody this is about Iran not having nuke. We can't say we're going after their oil. But the interesting part is, President Trump, you cannot take care of people of Iran if you kill them all. There is no people left for you to take care of.
How are the people going to have energy and infrastructure if you destroy it all?
And I was about to say, I don't think people of Iran are going to be looking at you the same way if you do what you say you're doing. You can already see a lot of activists, a lot of high-ranking people, including Crown Prince Pahlavi, who have come out and say, please relax, just calm down. In their own diplomatic words, I don't do diplomacy. Like, calm down, don't go destroying the entire country because you're not getting your way. So I don't know. I mean, he can use all of these talking points, but when I said from day one that they have an open-ended objective, I guess now we're seeing that there is open-ended objective. And when he said, if it was up to me, I thought you're the boss, President Trump. What do you mean if it was up to me? Until today, it has been up to you.
Well,
you have made all the calls. So what do you mean by if it's up to me?
I think I have the right clip. Let's see if this is the right clip next.
Of years. Now with Venezuela.
Yeah, this is it. So if it doesn't work out here, he can just go run for president in Venezuela.
Of years. Now with Venezuela, and we just so you understand, the people of Venezuela, they say if I ran for president of Venezuela, I'm polling higher than anybody has ever polled in Venezuela. So after I'm finished with this, I can go to Venezuela. I will quickly learn Spanish. It won't take too long. I'm good at language. And I will go to Venezuela. I'm going to run for president. But we're very happy with the president-elect that we have right now.
You mean president-select, right? Because she was not elected. you appointed her. She was not president-elect. But what do I know? I'm not good with languages. My English lacks a little.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, nothing. Again, if it does happen tomorrow at 8 p.m., we can all admittedly publicly say that he has lost his mind.
Well, let's pray that's not the case. That would be a problem for all of us. I want to switch to gears to this one here, and that is, look at this. Expansion West Little Rock project. Oh my, Texas is gone. Okay. All right. I told you guys that a few months ago. They got the governor down there who's, just worthless. They got a lot of Republicans in Texas who are Democrats, but they ran for office as Republicans like they do in South Dakota. Texas is gone. If any of you are living in Texas, I would pack it up and get out of there if I were you. I never went there. When I decided I was getting out of Minnesota, I'm not from there. I got transferred there as a high school student, junior high student with my father with the government. But when I finally decided to get out of there, I came back to where our family roots are here in the Mid-South. I'm born in Jackson, Mississippi, and our family, generations 45 miles from here, northeast. But we did travel to Texas to look around. And I said, nope. A lot of reasons I said no. But one of them was too close to the Mexican border. But yeah, if I were living in Texas, I'd be thinking about packing up and getting out, which of course you did. You went there, you got the feel of the landscape, and you bolted as well. But I don't want to tell you to do that because you come to Tennessee, we're probably going to fall too eventually. It's just a matter of time. But they've targeted Texas. Probably about southern states. They've targeted Texas. They're targeting Tennessee, and they're also targeting Arkansas. Now they're building an expanded, look at this, folks. Look at this. The ICLR help them reach their goal. This is the Islamic Center of Little Rock. Expanding into West Little Rock, our kids in the future, blah, blah, blah. You want to watch this little video? Let's see what it says here. Let's see what the little video is. Is there any audio with it? I don't even know if there is. Here we go. Nothing? No audio? Top right? No.
But if the same exact rain came to a bad land, then it will absorb the rain and it will never give you. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told us, مثل ما بعثني الله به من الهدى. The example of what Allah Azza wa Jalla has sent me with, the guidance, is like the example of the rain. When the rain comes to a good land, then you're going to find the seeds are growing and blooming. But if the same exact rain came to a bad land, then it will absorb the rain and it will never give you any fruit.
The way we look at our school and our environment, alhamdulillah, is like a seed.
This seed needs nurturing, needs our direction, needs your support, so it can grow to a tree, can give fruit, can give back to the community.
This is what the school represents. This is what the school's job is. To take our children, to give them the things that they need, to give them the education.
Our vision is to raise our students in a way that they are well-rounded in their education and also character.
The reason why we chose the Huda Academy for our children was for Islamic education. Spiritually, I feel like my children are comfortable with their deen. They're learning their deen every day at school.
All right, so this is growing and expanding now, even into Little Rock. The South.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Go back to their website. There's a point to be made, please.
Okay.
If you go back to under their about, there's an option that says who we are or yes, who we are. Okay, if you scroll a little bit under their mission statement, look how simple they told us back in 1992 what they want to do. Scroll a little bit more to the next section.
And by
there
the way,
you go.
notice how they're in the Bible Belt, so they're going to call it Sunday school. Really?
Right. So look, read their mission statement. To serve a diverse community and build a better future inspired by Islam. How much more clear could they be, Brannon? It's right there. And again, I pointed out earlier that, not on your show, on a different show, that this mosque started in 1992. This isn't the first expansion. This center started as a very small mosque, later expanded the mosque, then added the parking lot, then added their housing community. That 5 house has been built. They're planning to build 20 more. It's just catching attention now because probably, somebody said something about it. But this is not happening. It didn't happen yesterday. They've been there since 92. And did you see all the little girls in their full hijabs? That's what they want to make sure they're formed. They have their they have to do it Sunday, by the way, because Fridays in America, kids are at their normal school, so they have to do it Sunday. And it's a nice label too, because we can think it's a spiritual, faith base. But they've been telling us they're building a future based on Islam. They all do.
All right, let's see. What else do we have? Speaking of Texas, Texas City has approved Ramadan proclamations recognizing Islamic season, approved by city councils and mayors. I mean, Texas is gone. They got Pakistani Day. I mean, Texas is done. It's over. I mean, there's no saving Texas. I don't think there is. I mean, you moved there and saw it and left. You scrammed. You're like, holy cow, they're everywhere.
Yes, I was there for 9 months and I took off right as I think 4 days after 9 months was up. Couldn't stand it. But I don't like to bring this back up. But Brandon, I've told you that Tennessee is on July 17, 2025, I published a Substack called The Conquer Map of America, listing 18 cities that are fully conquered. That was last year. And I said, next year, I'm going to do an update. And at the bottom, I had a list of cities that are coming up within a year. And Tennessee was there. I had Nashville, Tennessee listed there as full conquered by 2026. I'm afraid that as I'm researching to put my 2026 conquered map of America out, Nashville is definitely there. If it's not 100%, it's a good 85% conquered.
Well, in Nashville, they have that humongous mosque, the huge mosque they built near Nashville. Remember that?
Yes, and that's the thing. About 8 years ago or so, on one of my shows, I said something of stop treating mosques as equal to churches, because when mosques go up, it's the sign of conquer. And I vividly remember a lot of, back then I wasn't saved myself, a lot of my Christian audience saying, this is not a way of Christ. You should stop hating on them. They just need a place to worship. I'm like, I'll see you in about 10 years. Now I'm seeing you in about 10 years. Every place that ended up building a mosque ended up expanding the mosque into a Muslim community to where now they have conquered that city. I didn't say mosques are a sign of conquer because I felt like saying it. I said it because that is what Muhammad said and what Muhammad did. And if you don't mind, I'm going to plug that. I started my very chapter on Muhammad's history in my book, mentioning that when he made it to Medina and conquered Medina, the very first Islamic mosque went up. A lot of people don't understand that Islam started with Muhammad in Mecca. There were no mosques ever made in Mecca by Muhammad. His first mosque was made in Medina after his supposedly migration, and that was his sign of conquer. He built that mosque and called it the first chapter of leading the Islamic movement. He didn't even call it a mosque. He didn't call it a masjid. He called it the Islamic Center. So every time you hear Islamic Center, don't separate them from mosques.
It is a mosque.
They're the same thing.
I think I have one more clip. Let's see what this is.
این که ما میگوییم آتش بس نمیخواهیم نه به این دلیل که دنبال جنگ هستیم، به این دلیل که این بار این جنگ باید به شکلی تمام بشود که دشمنان ما دیگر هرگز به فکر تکرار این حملات و این تجاوز نیفتند. و من فکر میکنم تا همین الان هم درس خوبی فرا گرفتند. فهمیدند که با چه ملتی طرف هستند که در دفاع از خودش هیچ تردیدی نمیکنه و آمادگی داره که جنگ رو تا هر کجا که هست ادامه بده و به هر کجا که هست بکشه. اینکه ما میگوییم آتش بس.
All right, there you go. That's their Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
That is Arachchi, yes.
We do not want a ceasefire, not because of the war. This time, this battle must be completed so that our enemies never even think of repeating these attacks and incursions again. And I believe they have learned a good lesson so far. Take this battle to the furthest extent necessary. What lesson do you think he's learned?
Well, there's a missing part in that translation, which is actually the biggest lie of this video, where he says, I think our enemy has already learned a great lesson, that we are a nation that will go as far as we need to defend our country. And that's the lying part, because people of Iran are not going anywhere to fight this war for you. But he likes to put it in there. That's the lesson apparently the enemy learned, which the opposite is like, no, your enemy has learned that people of Iran will stand by them to destroy you. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've seen it confirmed, which I was happy to hear, but it looks like I saw the videos and I published some of them, but the local people of Iran, the local area where our fighter was shut down, they actually created human traffic to slow down IRGC. Wow. From getting to the incident. That's the thing. I said it from day one. If we do this right, when our boots on the ground show up, people will support us. Remember that, Brandon? Yep. Said if we do it right, but we're not there anymore. We went to where now a lot of Iranian things, Trump is going to destroy Iran. They're starting to believe that he's not there to help Iranian people, but rather his own agenda. That's why I hope what he thinks he's going to do tomorrow doesn't come true, because that's bad. But anyways.
LiveUpToFreedom.substack.com. Live Up to Freedom. Get her brand new book, The Architecture of Jihad, Inside the Ideology, Law, and Global Strategy Driving Islam's Multi-Front Expansion. It's available at LiveUpToFreedom.com.
I have a question, Brandon, for you. Are we plugging your event in October yet or not?
Oh yeah, we've been plugging. Yeah.
Okay. You don't even know about this, so if you don't, I'm just gonna break it on your show for the first time.
Break it.
Prince
Pahlavi showing up?
Not that good of a news yet. I am working on that one. However, now on my end, since you have honored me to be one of your speakers. Yep. And yes, I'm coming with the book, The Architecture of Jihad. But then we're also, on that day, at your event, that weekend, I'm going to be doing a pre-lunch book signing of my next book that will be coming out in November.
Oh, good. Do you have a working title yet?
Yes, but let's not mention it. Let's keep a little bit of suspense for your audience and mine who are going to sign up and show up for that event. Here's what I could offer as a bit of extra bonus. Before the book comes out, your audience at that event will have access to it.
Excellent. By the way, what do you make of Iran striking in Saudi Arabia? It's supposedly hitting a CIA facility of ours.
I was about to say, we need to remember, Iran has not hit anything of neighbors that belong to the neighbors. They are hitting all the interest of U.S. in the neighbor countries. Mm-hmm. And it's funny you say that, because over the last few days, I've been, monitoring all the strikes by Iran against other countries neighboring. And I keep remembering the comment by President Trump when the guy asked about IRGC has made threat toward Google or Amazon and Apple or something like that. And it's like, threat with what? BB guns? I can't get that out of my head. I'm like, so I guess all of these are BB guns. They're just destroying different areas and killing people, unfortunately, with BB guns. This is when you underestimate the enemy sometimes. But they do have, regardless of what we hear, Brandon, they do have plenty of missiles to continue. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. All right. We're going to keep you posted. Is there anything going on right now in Iran? You can see in Tehran, nothing happening before you let you go, right? Can you check?
What I can say is covering on the Israeli side of things, that they took out 2 more major ranking of IRGC this morning. With that, as of right now, I can tell you that there are 10 names 10 names. If Israel take those 10 names out, we can officially announce on your show that the Islamic Republic of Iran has completely crippled.
Okay, RT is reporting that Isfahan under heavy bombardment as U.S.-Israel strikes sweep through nuclear hub city. Any truth to that?
Yes, that is true. However, again, we are hitting, well, we're trying to hit what we can, but with what we're using, we're not gonna get there. Kolang Mountain is way deeper. And let me plug, I so take advantage of your show to plug everything. Go to my Substack and look up Kolang, that's Kolang mountain, or just look up mountain. My original report about Kolang Mountain last year after ceasefire is still there. That is not something, I mean, as of right now, they're saying not even our B-2s can touch it, let alone any other heavy fire. We can fire as much as we want, with all due respect to both Israel and US, but we're not going to touch that uranium. That is deep in the mountains. And that is where we might be forced to have boots on the ground to get that one. And today, again, the agency, what's his name? The head of nuclear agency, Grossi.
Mm-hmm.
He confirmed this morning again that he is very concerned because Iran still has enough enriched uranium to make at least 10 warheads. So as far as the nuke issue goes, they seem to still be untouched.
All right, keep us
But we
posted.
might take their oil.
Yep, might take their oil. And Annie Cyrus checking in, liveuptofreedom.com, and the brand new book is out. Thank you, Annie.
Thank you, Brennan.